You're listening to Not So Live from Asteroid G. I'm Mike Finkelstein, and with me, as always, is...
Queen Bee.
And...
Rebecca Finkelstein.
Hey, so today we are going to be talking about the MCU for, I guess, our second official podcast touching upon the Marvel Cinematic Universe, primarily because of the fact that the Black Widow teaser trailer came out. And I don't necessarily think we need to talk about that specific trailer, because there's more that we could discuss. But it's the thing of, for those that have seen Endgame, and if you haven't, oh well, spoilers, Black Widow dies during that movie. And it's only after she dies during that movie that the producers of the MCU were like, hey, you know what would be great? Let's give this character her own movie. So she gets to have her own movie after she dies, and the only way they can pull this off is to make it a prequel that takes place sometime during the events after Civil War. So
bad timing, Kevin Feige. Bad timing.
Yeah, it's like, I appreciate that you guys are finally giving her a movie that everyone has been demanding for basically since the first Avengers came out in 2012.
Pretty much.
We've wanted this movie for 7 years. You're finally giving it to her, which is great. Could you not have done it before you killed off her character? So maybe not only it could have fit in with the proper continuity, but also, you know, could have had some sequels.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like with the election, black man gets a movie before the woman does.
Damn, way to make it political, Bex.
Hey, I'm just calling it like I see it.
So, Black Widow's getting a movie. I'm still happy about that, even if the context of it kind of irritates me.
Oh, and BT Dub's Black Panther is nice, so I'm not.
It's an awesome movie. And they're getting a second one, too.
Yeah.
That's good.
Killmonger's a fantastic character. I think he is more interesting than Black Panther, but I think the movie on the whole is good. But what other characters from the MCU do you think deserve their own movie, that like their own personal movie, that haven't gotten one? And I think we can start right there with the one that we just started mentioning, a Killmonger prequel. If prequels are on the table, let's have one about the Killmonger character, because he's way more interesting than Black Panther.
True. But doesn't he only become Killmonger after his, after the whole thing comes down that, he's no longer under, who was the Andy Serkis character?
Oh, that guy. No, he was always Killmonger. When he worked for the CIA, I think he got the name of Killmonger.
So we can see a prequel of him becoming more
that guy.
of Killmonger.
Starting off as an idealistic guy, maybe, who's just trying to make up for the sins he views of his father or whatever, and maybe earn his place in Wakandan society. And then as he goes along, he just becomes more and more of an anti-hero.
Right.
It'd be a very challenging movie for the MCU because it's not their standard superhero path, but I think that would actually be, if we're going to do prequels, I think that would be a very interesting prequel.
Okay, fair enough. I like that. I'm a huge fan of the Spider-Man friends, so I think Firestar or Spider-Woman would be great additions to that universe.
So either Sony lets MCU use them, or
if Sony is the one who has them, we don't know exactly.
Everything that's part of the Spider-Man continuity, quote unquote, is tied up with Sony.
So the Spider-Friends is tied up with the Sony.
Yeah,
okay.
I think the last estimate is there's 150 or so characters that are Spider-Man related that are all tied up in the Sony licensing rights.
Okay.
So I'm not saying Silk and Spider-Woman and all those couldn't show up in the MCU. Sony does really want to tie their Spider-Verse into the MCU verse. It's just Sony would have to let them have Spider-Woman and Spider-Girl and all of those characters. So Firestar, presumably you said that, I think off mic, you said that she was Peter Parker's friend?
Peter Parker's friend. She's a college friend, another MJ kind of character.
So more than likely she's not just a mutant, but she's a Spider-Man character. Although, if she is actually a mutant, she might also be tied up in the Fox rights because of how that goes. So maybe they can use Firestar.
Right.
So who knows?
Who knows?
Hollywood licensing rights are really bullshit. So, but you want to see a Spider-Woman or a Firestar. And
I think that those would both be really good independent movies. Now, for those people who don't realize or remember who Firestar is, she's kind of like a torch. Human Torch. So that might be another reason why they haven't done it yet, is because, they're trying to relaunch
Fantastic Four
again.
I'm sure Fantastic Four will show up in the MCU before too long.
Right.
There are no announced plans yet for that, which is
not yet, because it bombed so badly in the last 3 movies that they've done.
My God, they've never gotten them right.
No.
I mean, the best part of all those movies, any of them, was Chris Evans. But then you already got Chris Evans without having to have the Fantastic Four, because he's also a fantastic Captain America.
Yes, he is a very fantastic.
He's just fantastic everywhere. He is the Fantastic
Four.
Chris Evans in all the parts.
All the parts.
All the parts.
I would watch that.
Human Torch, the Thing.
Sue Storm.
His Invisible Woman is to die for.
Would be amazing.
And the thing is, I think he'd do it.
He probably would. And if he wouldn't, I'm sure Ryan Reynolds would. So...
Yeah, but Chris Evans would invest in it, while Ryan Reynolds will do it from a distance. Just playing Ryan Reynolds as all four characters.
I think that would be fun. Let's see. Squirrel Girl, because Anna Kendrick said in an interview somewhere that she really wanted to play Squirrel Girl. I think that would be amazing because nobody's done something like that.
I mean, I like Anna Kendrick. I'd watch her in just about anything anyway.
Exactly.
So, yeah, no, if they want to make a Squirrel Girl movie, I would be on board with that one.
I'm pretty sure you like Jubilee, although...
Jubilation Lee! She's so dumb! I want to see her in something. They made such a big deal of her in the 90s cartoon.
Yes.
And she never amounted to anything. And that, like, they always had to try and shoehorn her in, and she sucked.
Right.
But they could make her suck on the big screen.
They could make her suck on the big screen. But honestly, I think she's never going to make it to the big screen. If she's going to have a show, it's probably going to be a small screen.
I mean, she did show up in every single X-Men movie that they've made for Fox and never got to do anything. Which, honestly, I think that's a perfect encapsulation of Jubilation Lee in general. I get to be here. Oh, you guys have already turned the camera. Oh, bye.
Right? There was talk of a Gambit movie.
Yes.
But it never came to fruition because of Channing Tatum and
Channing Tatum wanted to do it.
Discussions.
They can never get a director and writer to actually settle down and do it properly. And now with Disney buying the rights, obviously everything Fox-related is canceled. But Channing Tatum never got to play the character in the Fox movies. I think Disney could get away with making a Channing Tatum Gambit movie in the MCU, and no one would be any wiser.
You're probably right. I like Channing Tatum, but a lot of people don't. So,
oh, come on, Mr. Potato Head is great.
But I had no problem with the John Carter character. Who played John Carter?
That guy. It was that guy.
It's that guy that nobody. It's another one of those.
Yeah, it's that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was actually pretty decent as a Gambit, but again, not quite right. And there's a lot of people who don't know who would be a correct.
Well, you gotta have, I mean, if you want to play Gambit properly, you gotta have someone that can be that kind of smarmy, smirky character that can also pull off the Cajun accent. And you gotta make it, you have to sell how much of a shithead he is while being endearing. And we already have actors that can do that, playing other roles in the MCU and the Fox movies. Like Ryan Reynolds is a guy that can play a shithead that you like.
Right.
There's not a lot of guys that can pull that off that are in the right age range as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Channing Tatum was one of the few that could do it. But you are correct. There are people that just don't like him.
Right.
So I don't know if he's necessarily the right fit.
Right.
Yeah. Like I think Brandon Routh is a guy that could have played that role, but he's too old for it now.
Oh.
He's graying. He's really graying. Like they don't even have
color
to
his hair.
He's not as ageless as he used to be.
Well, I think the question is, the people who don't like Channing Tatum, do they also not like Gambit? Because, I mean, if it's the same, then
Could Luke Wilson do it?
You mean one of the two Wilson brothers? Isn't he too old for it too?
Well, it depends. Paul Rudd is almost 50 and he looks like he's 15. So
yeah, but that's not everyone is Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd literally looks the same now as he did when he was in Clueless.
Yes.
Or like Halloween 6. I mean, the dude is ageless.
Yes.
What about Keanu Reeves?
Mm-hmm.
Is he another one of our actors that can just play anything?
He can play anything.
We do know he can look really good in a swirly trench coat.
That is true.
Yeah. Keanu Reeves could do it in that regard. I just don't know if he could play the accent. I mean, we've seen him try and do accents. They tried to have him do an accent in Much Ado About Nothing and in Dracula.
That's true.
And those
he can't really do an accent. No. Any character he plays has to be Keanu Reeves.
There's a reason why when he played John Constantine in Constantine, they were like, we're just going to set this in L.A. because trying to make you do a British accent is the most tragic thing possible.
Could they make... I mean, I know Gambit is... Cajun,
Yes.
white Cajun.
Yes.
Why can't they have him be a African American Cajun?
I mean, I don't have a problem with him being an African American Cajun or whatever other type of Cajun that you want him to be. I think African American is actually a
good choice.
good role. I mean,
yeah.
Southern Cajun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be, I think it'd be a fantastic idea. I just don't think the comic book nerds would be behind it.
Well, yeah, comic book
Well,
nerds.
they can just suck it. But.
Yeah, I mean, Michael B. Jordan, the guy that did Killmonger, he wants to do a Black Superman movie, and I would be fully on board with that, but I don't think Warner Bros. Is going to do it because Black Superman, like, a bunch of people are just not going to want to watch that, which is stupid. They even have a Black Superman in the comics. His name is Von L. They literally have one in continuity they could do, but they're just not going to do it.
They're not doing anything with the whole. Doesn't the DC universe have some kind of show based on kryptonite or something like that?
Krypton.
Krypton.
It just got canceled.
Oh, I guess not.
2 seasons. Nope.
Womp
They don't.
womp.
They did. They don't now.
Okay.
I actually really liked the first season of that, though. Although that's DC, and we were talking about MCU.
Yeah,
but why
no,
not?
I'm sorry. I was just thinking.
I mean, there are articles online discussing the idea, to get us back on topic, about when they do the X-Men in the MCU, because within a few years, they're gonna do the X-Men. You don't buy
Again.
the rights back to
Right.
the X-Men without using them.
Right.
Trying to do it with mutants that haven't been highlighted before, which I don't know the X-Men very well to know what mutants are worth highlighting that haven't been highlighted before, because all the mutants I knew came from the 90s cartoon. They all showed up in the movie. And I'm like, hey, look, those are the mutants I know.
Now, they have the whole Kitty Pryde going on in the previous movies. They could do a Kitty Pryde.
I would watch a Kitty Pryde movie because she's a fantastic character.
Right.
Yeah. Joss Whedon did when he did his run on X-Men a few years ago, he highlighted Kitty Pryde because he really likes his powerful female characters, even if he's a misogynistic asshole in private. And I thought his Kitty Pryde was great.
Okay.
So I would watch a Kitty Pryde movie anytime. I think it'd be fantastic.
Okay.
Becky, any characters you like that you feel could be highlighted?
I'm looking up characters, but one,
Yes.
Spider-Gwen.
Yeah, I mean, Spider-Gwen, she was so good in the Spider-Verse movie. I think if you do a live-action Spider-Gwen, that would be fantastic. Especially if you, like, that's an origin story I think I would actually be willing to watch. Her getting bitten by the spider, having her friend Peter Parker go bad. I think he becomes their version of the Lizard or whatever. And then, like, her battling him and him dying and all that. I think that would be a really interesting take on the material.
Yeah.
That's worth seeing in live action.
Yeah.
But then who would you have play
Well,
Spider-Gwen?
see, that's the thing, because I'm so in love with the Spider-Verse Spider-Gwen.
Yes, she's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, I just want to see her playing drums, kicking ass, taking names.
yeah.
That's how it goes.
All these characters didn't have to be female. It sounds like we
Yeah.
really want more female led movies is basically what we want.
How many female-led movies can you think of in the MCU? I believe the answer is Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Captain Marvel's the
Black
only-
Widow is the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... Meanwhile, DC, I wouldn't say DC's striking all that much better, but at least ratio of how many movies they have out in the DCEU versus how many of them are female-led. They have Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 2 that's coming out, and they have Birds of Prey that's coming out before that. They're already batting a much better ratio than, Suicide Squad was basically one of the two lead characters was Harley Quinn. So,
But to be fair, that if you take the movies back to Mac, Captain Marvel, in my opinion, is a better movie than Wonder Woman, even though I like, and not to shit all over Brie Larson, because I do like her as an actress, I found that the Wonder Woman actress...
Gal Gadot.
Yeah, thank you. Gal Gadot is a better actress, better looking. I'd rather look at her than Brie Larson.
I think Wonder Woman's first two acts blow Captain Marvel out of the water.
Okay.
I think its last act betrays the movie so hard, it's hard to like Wonder Woman.
Yes.
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 And if they would have just stopped it after she took over the French city and done the second movie, like the second half of the movie as like a different movie entirely, it would have worked really well. Just flesh out that opening half, do a little more on Themyscira, then spend some time with her going and fighting World War I and freeing that French town.
Why are you not a director?
I know, right?
Right.
Or a writer?
Well, my name's not Patty Jenkins, so I couldn't direct Wonder Woman.
But you have long hair. It could work.
I think some people out there would be a little offended by that. But no, like that's a fantastic movie right there. That Wonder Woman right there.
That would have been a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
And had they just done that, it would have been great.
Yeah.
And better than Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Captain Marvel is a very safe, very basic, very expected Marvel movie.
Yes.
With an ending that's only okay because, she's so powerful she can fly straight through spaceships and destroy them. That's a little too powerful for my taste. They need to bring her back just a little, I think. But hers movie is safe but decent. Wonder Woman's is fantastic until it completely bombs itself.
Right.
So...
Yeah, that's true. 100% true.
And I'm hoping Wonder Woman 1984 is able to do better.
I know that they had Charlize Theron. She was ultraviolet. She was ultraviolet. She's been Atomic Blonde. She's amazing.
Furiosa. Yeah.
As a
female action hero.
Thank you.
Yes.
Female action hero.
Yes.
She needs to be in the MCU.
I don't know who she'd play. I don't know that I necessarily care, but
yeah, I don't necessarily care, but I think she needs to be in the MCU.
Oh, she could play Black Cat.
Black Cat's supposed to be Peter Parker's age. I like Charlize Theron. I think she's fantastic. She needs to play a slightly older character.
Well, Black Cat can age.
Yeah, but the whole point of her character is that she's supposed to be a love interest, and it would look kind of strange for Charlize Theron to be courting, like, Tom Holland's 12-year-old looking Spider-Man.
All I'm saying is I'm okay with it just being a Black Cat movie without there being a love interest.
That's fine, but I mean, Sony's not going to make it unless it can tie into the Spider-Man films. So I think Charlize Theron could play a Black Cat movie, like a Black Cat coming out of, like, jail, having spent, like, a decade there, and now is, like, haggard and ready to go to town like Furiosa does, or just about anything, honestly. She can play anything.
I mean, I don't always like her characters and what she's in, but she always plays her characters very well.
She does. She doesn't always pick roles that I care about.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll say that. That's a better way of saying it.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know this is, again, DC, I really liked Catwoman, and they did a Catwoman film.
That was garbage.
Complete garbage. Yes. Michelle Pfeiffer's was better, way better than Halle Berry's. But I mean, we have so many good female actresses right now that can pretty much play anything. See,
now that's a character that she could have played. If she was playing opposite Ben Affleck's Batman, Charlize Theron's the perfect age to do like, that Catwoman right there.
Yes.
A nice street tough, like really strong Catwoman. I would watch the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that would have been good. What were you thinking? Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder doesn't think. He just says, ooh, explosions. And I must do this against CGI to out Michael Bay, and then story is just lost.
So sad.
Yeah, I know.
They really need to... Greg Berlanti, please. I mean, step in.
If we're going to talk about any character in the MCU that deserves to have another go at having a movie, it's the Hulk.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. With Mark Ruffalo.
Oh, yeah. No. He owns that character. And I mean, you could have said it pretty much any time during his span. Avengers picks up essentially after the first Hulk movie with Edward Norton, which is still technically in continuity, even though no one pays any attention to it.
Different universe.
Yeah.
Terrible. Yeah.
But I mean, you have a span from the end of Avengers 1 all the way through to basically right before Infinity War starts, where you could slot a Hulk movie anywhere in there.
Yep.
And it would be great.
Yep.
Well, really, up until Ragnarok.
Right, because he's on a different planet at that point. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but you could even put a movie in there of his time at where he's at. So there's no reason.
No. Yeah. So, I mean, they have a bunch of storylines that they could do with Hulk that would be great. And they're just not going to do any of it. And I think Mark Ruffalo's given up on ever getting a movie about his character.
Which is sad because he's a great actor altogether. I love Mark Ruffalo.
And his Hulk is fantastic.
Yes.
So good. The closest we're going to get to a Hulk movie is Ragnarok.
Yeah.
At this point. So, tragic.
Very tragic.
Yeah.
So any characters in the current MCU that you want to see independent films of?
That aren't going to get DC or Disney Plus movies?
Right. I mean, because Wanda and Vision are going to get their own.
They are, which is weird. And Falcon and Winter Soldier are getting theirs.
Their own, right?
Yeah. Trying to think who else there is that needs a movie. I mean, I would watch a movie with Valkyrie.
Yeah. Okay.
She'd be fun. Just her drunkenly like storming through, like a prequel movie with her about how she got to that Ragnarok planet where she just drunkenly does whatever she wants for like 2 hours.
That'd be great.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Especially if it's kind of like a Wonder Woman thing where it shows her with the other Valkyries.
I mean, other than Black Widow, are they going to do a kind of are they thinking about doing a woman mashup movie like Birds of Prey is?
I think they were talking
DC?
at one point about doing like a Lady Avengers film or something like that. But of course, they're getting beaten to the punch again by the DCU.
Right, who's doing Birds of Prey?
Birds of Prey.
Right.
With the fantabulously long subtitle.
What is the full name of Birds of Prey?
Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
Okay.
I think from the story is she got her script for Birds of Prey and wrote that subtitle on there, and then the producers saw it and were like, well, that's a subtitle now.
Yeah. Who else is going to be in that? I know it's
Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who you can't remember.
Can't remember her name.
She's going to be Huntress, and I think Renee Montoya is in there. I think it's the cop version, not as the Question that she becomes later in Batman continuity, and someone else.
So not the Riddler, but the Question?
Black Canary.
Okay, Black Canary.
Black Canary is always on Birds of Prey.
You know, Charlize Theron would be a great Black Canary.
She would be.
She really would be.
And I mean, depending upon she's actually of the right age for all those heroes in that universe. You don't even have to have Green Arrow around to do that. You can just introduce Green Arrow later.
That's right.
There's the character you can have her play. Yeah.
Yeah, Green Arrow on screen big screen would be great.
Uh-huh.
So, especially since they're entering it on the minor show. And I go back to DC, but it's MCU that we're talking about. So
it's okay. I think the last MCU podcast we talked about DC more than MCU anyway.
We always start out with MCU. We have promised.
We try and get back there. We do. We do. So coming 2023, Jubilation Lee, the movie.
Well, we know that they're going to be doing Black Adam. They're going to be doing the whole...
That's DC.
Is Black Adam DC?
Yes.
I thought Black Adam was MCU. I'm 100% it's MCU because he's with...
Maybe I'm thinking wrong thing.
It's one of the movies that's coming up.
No, that's that. I had to look him up just to make sure I hadn't forgotten. He's a Shazam character. That's DC.
Huh.
Yeah. Apparently, you just want to talk about the DC all the time. Maybe we should have just made this a DCEU podcast.
You're right. He is a fictional supervillain. I'm sorry. Who knew? Okay.
Today on Just Not So Life from Asteroid G, we're talking about the DCEU and characters we think should show up. And then
that'll be the MCU.
There you go.
That seems to be our problem. We just keep going back and forth.
I mean, if we're going to open it up to the Sony characters in the Spider-Man verse or anything, I really do want to see a Silk movie. I like that character.
I was thinking Black Knight. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. You say that, but all I can think of is Knight and Squire, which are Batman characters. So that doesn't help me at all.
Kit Harington is playing the Black Knight in the Infinity, they're not the Eternals.
Eternals, which is a group of characters I know nothing about. Yeah,
right.
No.
So they are kind of going deep to try to pull out characters that haven't been seen before, and I think that's part of the phase 2 that they're going through, or phase 3 now. Whatever
they're calling okay. So it was phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 for the Infinity War, and now that they're done with the Infinity War saga, now they're calling the next part phase 2 of the MCU, which is just really fucking confusing. You can't have 2 phase 2 guys. You're not allowed. It's phase 4. Live with it.
Yes, phase 4.
Yeah.
So they have the Eternals coming out, and they kind of already were trying to introduce that in Galaxy...
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
Where they had the gold guy. He's one of the Eternals, I'm pretty sure.
There was a gold guy in there?
Yeah, at the very end, it was one of the clips at the end.
Oh, okay.
After the movie, they went back to the whole gold queen, what's-her-face.
Oh, okay.
And
with the dude played by, it's that guy. I know, the actor. The actor is someone, and I'm just forgetting who the actor was who was playing him. Okay, anyway, you're saying...
I think he's going to be played by Rob Stark, the actor who plays Rob Stark.
The gold guy?
Yeah.
The gold guy was played by someone else then, but okay, whatever. It's fine.
In any case.
It's fine. They recast people all the time in this series, yeah.
So,
Edward Norton calling you.
And I think he's... Eric Bana calling you.
Poor Eric Bana.
yeah,
You
no.
got stuck in the bad Hulk movie.
Why is it? What are some of the good villains for MCU other than Killmonger?
I mean, they basically squandered Red Skull, who should have been
Right.
a fantastic villain.
And now he's just pathetic and sad.
Doctor Doom has been squandered in 3 different terrible Fantastic Four movies.
Please stop.
I know.
But I mean, again,
I did like Julian McMillan though. He was pretty good.
Into the Spider-Verse does make Doc Ock really awesome.
Yeah, Doc Ock is a
Doc
great
Ock,
character.
right?
Yeah, and actually I think the lady Doc Ock from that one was the best Doc Ock I've seen in just about anything at this
Absolutely.
point.
yeah.
She was inventive and charismatic, and I liked her a lot.
And I forget who brought this up, but even her hair made it look like an octopus, which I did not get the first time seeing it. And then it's like, oh man.
So what you're saying is bring her Doc Ock into the live action version and then have her lead Hydra.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. See,
nice.
yeah.
That'd be good. Okay.
It's close enough.
Very good. Very good. But what are some other good villains from the MCU? I mean, they squandered Apocalypse. They've squandered.
I mean, they
so
squandered
many.
Galactus over on the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
With Silver Surfer. I mean, hopefully they can find a way to bring Silver Surfer back and make him interesting. They squandered Ghost Rider on Nicolas Cage, and they only made him halfway interesting again when they put him in S.H.I.E.L.D., and then they canceled the spin-off they were going to do of Ghost Rider. So maybe they can do a Ghost Rider
But
movie.
they are going to bring John Barathol back as the Punisher.
Yes, they are.
When they bring him into the movies.
They want to bring him in, and they want to bring back Daredevil as soon as they can get the rights back from Netflix.
Yay! Because that would be amazing. And I hope they bring back the same actor.
They have.
They've
Already said that they have him on lock.
Oh,
they
good.
want to use him. They want to use John Bernthal. They want to do both of them for their characters properly in the MCU, either as TV shows. I think the Daredevil one, they're going to just call it officially a season 4 of the Daredevil show.
Good.
And
that
hire
would be
all
amazing.
the same actors
Good.
back for it.
Because that was a great cast.
Yeah. Including the Kingpin guy, Vincent D'Onofrio, because, wow, he was, like, even though he felt squandered in the 3rd season, he was still a great actor in it. Yeah. And then, of course, Punisher. I don't know if they're going to do a show or a movie for Punisher. I feel like
I think they were going to do a movie.
Maybe, but I have a feeling it would either have to be a movie or they'd have to push him over to like Hulu because he's too R-rated for Disney Plus.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be on Disney Plus. I think they're going to do. They wanted to bring him in and do a rated R version of the Punisher, which is what they were going to use John Barathol for.
That's how you do a rated R movie in the MCU. Punisher, Deadpool.
Yes.
He just keeps shooting Deadpool, and Deadpool keeps getting up, and that's the movie right there. That's
the
like
movie.
2
It'd be
hours of the
excellent.
movie right there. Is them at a bar just chatting and getting shot.
I watched the hell out of that.
Really watch that movie. It would be great. Him grunting, Deadpool quipping. It would be fantastic. Although I keep rooting for the idea of having Deadpool, because they did this in a comic, having Deadpool go back and just edit Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool over top of Tobey Maguire in one of the Spider-Man movies. Because they did it in one of his comics. They literally had Deadpool travel back in time, and they just drew Deadpool over Spider-Man in every single panel.
That's cool.
Yeah, just digitally edit Ryan Reynolds in there. That'd be
Ryan
fucking
Reynolds
hysterical.
would love that.
Yeah. Oh, I know he's already sitting there thinking, can we just do this already? This would be hysterical.
Right. That would be hysterical. Yeah. Yep.
So part of the reason why I'm sure he's befriending Tom Holland is like, okay, I'm going to go back and I'm going to remake Homecoming at some point, and it's going to be hysterical. Just be on board with this.
Did you hear about the whole Tom Holland being drunk when he actually talked to Kevin Feige?
I heard about that, yeah.
Feige and the Sony board members.
It worked.
It did.
If it worked, it worked.
Having his father say, no, I know you're drunk, but go ahead and talk to him. That's support.
I mean, I would be fully on board with them bringing back Jessica Jones and giving her own like movie, but I know you don't like Kristen Ritter, and I do.
I'm not a fan of Kristen Ritter, but I thought David Tennant was amazing.
He was. And I like the fact that in the 2nd season, they brought him back as a figment in her own mind because he's implanted in there. I think having her get a movie where he just kind of hangs out and heckles her the whole time while she goes off on a case.
Great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'd watch that.
I'd be okay with that.
I'd watch that. Yeah.
Yeah, he was what made it watchable.
Well, but I think she was actually good. Like, as much as you don't like her, I thought she was really good in that role.
No, my problem was that I didn't care if she died.
Well, because you don't like her.
Right. Yeah. I
mean, I get that.
I was sad when David Tennant's character, spoilers, died. But
that was years ago. Whatever.
Right, exactly. But he was amazing. Now, I know nobody likes the Iron Fist either, or Golden Iron Fist, right?
I didn't like Iron Fist until
Boring
like the
Fist.
last half of the last season, the second season. But him and the two ladies who really deserve their own TV show fighting together.
Right.
And they made what's her name, like, I can't remember any of the characters' names because that show's so boring. But the girl who got the Iron Fist power,
Right.
And then he had his own weird version of the Iron Fist power,
Right.
and like those last two episodes set up a really interesting series. And you're sitting there going, "Why did I watch 18 episodes of this when I could have just gotten this show?" Because this show is
That show would have been great.
badass.
And then they canceled it.
Yeah.
I was like,
Right when it got
why?
interesting.
Why did you cancel it when it got interesting?
right when it got interesting. Grr.
So, yeah.
I mean, I don't know that I want them to bring him back. I think they need to bring her back, played by the actress that was playing her. And then the cop with the mechanical arm that was fighting at her side. Do
Yes.
the Daughters of the Dragon movie. I would watch that.
Yeah, that would be
That would
great.
be fantastic. Iron Fist, the character, is about the only character from that whole Defenders run that I'd be like, hey, can we just live without them? Like, I liked Luke Cage, although I thought the second season of his show was kind of weak. But I wouldn't even mind them bringing a version of Luke Cage back, because I thought the character was interesting.
See, I like the Luke Cage character. I didn't like the series. I couldn't get through it.
Yeah, the second season especially was kind of slow.
Yes.
Yeah. So
But I really liked the character. If they could give him a different story plot that
worked. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
I'd be more into it.
Anyone else you want? Anyone? I know
Well,
you want
between-
Loki and Angel and Hawkman. Wings
Yeah.
and Loki.
Yeah,
Wings
especially
and Loki.
especially
That's
Loki.
the show right
That's
there.
the-
Oh.
Wings and Loki.
It's actually just stitching Angel and Hawkman and Loki into the 90s sitcom Wings.
Are you sure you're not Josh in disguise?
I might be. I mean, I'm sitting right here. But man, if Loki had wings, it'd be all over.
She wouldn't be married anymore. She'd be chasing she'd be chasing him all over Hollywood.
Sorry, dude.
It's fine. I
That
understand.
or Nightcrawler. Aren't they doing a Nightcrawler movie?
They need to bring Nightcrawler back. I mean, he was in the X-Men movies.
He was in a lot of the X-Men movies.
So if they're
but
trying to feature
he
people
could have his own movie. I'd
I
be
think
okay
he's
with that.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would watch the hell out of him.
Either of them who played Nightcrawler, I would watch either one.
I
Yeah.
really do kind of want them to bring back the original actor who played him. His name I can't remember.
Alan,
Alan something. Alan Cummings.
yes,
Because I always think his name sounds so dirty.
yes,
Yes. Alan Cummings. But
he
no,
was great.
I've always been a fan of Nightcrawler, and I loved his performance. Like, I thought the other guy who played him, the kid, was good, but he lacked like that certain like flamboyance that I feel is a part of Nightcrawler.
You're absolutely right.
Like, he's a circus performer. He
Yes.
needs to be over the top, and Alan Cummings
Is
did it to a T.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he was just playing himself with an accent, but
That's
he did
true.
it perfectly. Like, paint me blue, that's just a Tuesday for me. I mean, whatever.
Wait, there
Yeah.
was another character I was just thinking of. Nightcrawler, and it's in the same X-Men. Oh, we talked about him one of the last movies. The Silver
Surfer.
Surfer, not the Silver Surfer, no. But he wears silver. The one who runs.
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver. There we go.
Quicksilver.
Now I know they had him as Wanda's brother, but they need to bring him the one from the X-Men
Yeah.
movies because he's the only
Yes.
one
Well,
worth watching
And this
in
is
those
what
movies.
I think this is what we said the last time.
Yes.
All they have to do is they set it up where Deadpool goes to the X-Men continuity because that's where he exists, grabs Quicksilver, jumps through a portal, and drops that version of Evan Peters' Quicksilver into the MCU, and that's all the explanation you need.
That would be perfect.
And the two of them can just hang out in a bar with the Punisher.
Right.
I would
I
watch
think that would be great.
Done.
Done. See,
So-
you need to write that, and you need to send it to Kevin Feige, and then you need to direct it.
They could make that a mini. I would watch 8 hours of that.
And I would
honestly.
so move to California with you and help you as your executive producer, assistant, whatever
But
you
we,
need.
But we
I would
already
be
have
there.
Quicksilver. Who cares? Deadpool can fix that.
Yeah,
Just bring him back.
exactly.
He's the best part of these movies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm there with you, 100%.
So
Sold.
Angel. So you really like Angel. Do you know the character of Angel, or is it just that he has winglings?
Just that he has wings. That's all I need.
That's all you need?
I mean,
I'm a
we've seen
simple
two,
lady.
We've seen two versions of him. We see him in the earlier X-Men movies.
Yeah.
He's there
He's, yeah,
because
a really
he's in the
boring version.
second movie?
He's in the third
movie.
one.
Third movie.
Third one, and he barely has anything to do there.
And then in Apocalypse, he gets metal wings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
He's basically my
But
version
two
of Jubilee.
different versions. It's two different versions.
Well, it's supposed to be this the let's not even worry
universes.
about X-Men. Yeah, the X-Men continuity is fucked up. But no, I mean, that's what happens to him in the comics at one point. His wings get damaged, and then
Right.
Apocalypse gives him metal wings. So it was perfectly within the line of the character, even if it was the same character. Who cares? But yeah, no. Archangel. with the metal
Archangel,
wings.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they could do an entire Alpha Team movie, too, which they probably aren't even thinking of because they're all Canadians, but
I mean, it's
Alpha
Canadians.
Team is
Why not?
amazing.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do an Alpha Team movie. Because that's female-led anyway.
There you go. I mean, our sister Mab,
Mm-hmm.
she's upstairs and not participating in this podcast, but she is a huge fan of Exiles. That's
Okay.
the dimension hopping alternate versions of the X-Men,
Nice.
like led by Blink, an alternate version of
yes.
Blink. Yeah, she loves that book, and at one point I thought they were going to finally be able to do it when they did Days of Future Past and introduced Blink, and then they never did anything with her there, and then they put her in the show The Gifted. And then I think they were slowly building to Exiles again in that show, and then that show got canceled, which, oh darn, that show sucked. But Exiles, we need an Exiles movie.
Yes.
And now that Disney owns the rights and is willing to do really weird crap like What If and all that, let's just have them do a Disney Plus show of Exiles.
Yes, I agree.
You introduce them into the movies, the X-Men movies, and then you do an alternate version of them on Disney Plus and just have fun with it. I would watch the hell out of that.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyone else you want?
No, that's it.
Anyone else you want?
I think I've talked about all the MCU characters I know. And I keep going to DCEU. So
I mean, we just hold out hope that one day they both get their shit together and then we have a DCEU versus MCU movie.
that would be amazing.
Yeah, Avengers
Please.
versus Justice League. I would watch that. Oh, be good. I mean, we know the MCU guys are willing to pair up with other studios for stuff. So
Yes.
if the DCEU was an absolute crap, I think at 50-50 production costs and split the money that comes back, Disney has shown they're willing to do that. The number of people that would get in line for a DCEU versus MCU movie, I think that would be a $3 billion movie right
You might
there.
even be able to bring back Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Yeah, I think you'd be able to bring in just about everyone for
Yes.
that. Yeah.
That would be like a major encore of
Yeah.
Extreme.
That's about the only movie I think that they could release anytime soon that would somehow rival Endgame for the amount of money it made.
yes.
Yeah.
Because regardless of whether or not you think superhero movies are dreck or not, they're fun.
Who doesn't want to see Superman kick the shit out of like Captain Marvel and then back? Like,
Right?
Like the two of them like just beating each other to hell. While like Wonder Woman fights like Black Widow or something.
That
like,
would be
that's
amazing.
all we want.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even need a plot at that point. You just need to see that crap for a
Yes.
while. That'd be great. Yeah.
Agreed.
So there we go. That's Hollywood. That's the movie you need to build to next. That's what we need.
That's what we need.
That's what we need.
Let's get together, guys.
Yeah, come on. It's not that hard. We've already figured this shit out for you. This has been Not So Live from Asteroid G. I'm Mike Finkelstein,
I'm Queen Bee.
I'm Rebecca Finkelstein.
and we will see you next time.